In the village of Oloru, nestled between sprawling green hills and the wide Oyo River, tradition ruled every aspect of life. The people of Oloru were proud of their customs, which had been passed down for generations. Among these customs was the belief that leadership was a sacred duty entrusted only to the strongest and wisest. For centuries, chiefs in Oloru had always been men, chosen from the bravest warriors or the most cunning hunters. But everything changed the day Chief Adekunle passed away unexpectedly, leaving his only child, a daughter named Ayo, as his heir. Ayo was unlike her father in many ways. While Chief Adekunle had commanded respect with his booming voice and towering frame, Ayo was known for a quiet demeanor and sharp mind. She had spent her childhood listening to the elders' debate in the village square, learning the ways of the land and its people. But her wisdom and curiosity were not enough to convince the elders or the villagers that she could lead. A woman cannot be chief, grumbled one elder, Olotu, shaking his head as he leaned on his walking stick. It is not our way. Ayo may be Adekunle's blood, but blood alone does not make a leader, added another elder. Mama Deka, she has not proven herself. Ayo heard the whispers, the doubt that seemed to fill every corner of the village. She knew that if she did not act, her father's legacy would be stripped away, and the role of chief would be given to someone else, likely Olotu's son, Dayo, who had been eyeing the position with greedy ambition, determined to claim her rightful place. Ayo approached the council of elders one evening as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the village square. I will take the trial of the ancestors, she declared, her voice steady despite the rapid beat of her heart. A collective gasp rippled through the gathering. The trial of the ancestors was a dangerous ritual, undertaken only by those who sought to prove their worth as leaders. It required venturing into the sacred forest of Igbale and surviving the night while facing the spirits of the ancestors. Many who had taken the trial returned changed, and some did not return at all. You do not need to do this, Ayo, Mama Deka said, her wrinkled face soft with concern. It is a perilous path. If I do not prove myself, no one will accept me as chief, Ayo replied firmly. I am my father's daughter. I will honor him by completing the trial. Reluctantly, the elders agreed, and preparations for the trial began. On the appointed day, Ayo stood at the edge of the forest, her heart pounding as the villagers gathered to watch. The sacred forest loomed before her, dark and forbidding, its dense canopy blocking out the sun. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and the distant sound of rustling leaves. Mama Deka stepped forward, handing Ayo a small gourd of palm wine and a piece of kola nut. Offer these to the spirits, she instructed, and remember, courage and respect will guide you. Ayo nodded, gripping the items tightly as she stepped into the forest. The murmurs of the villagers faded behind her, replaced by the eerie stillness of Igbale. Every crackle of a twig beneath her feet seemed deafening in the quiet. As she walked deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to close in around her, their gnarled branches twisting like skeletal hands. Hours passed as Ayo navigated the dense undergrowth, her senses alert to every sound. Suddenly, a soft voice called her name, carried on the wind like a whisper. She froze, her breath caught in her throat. Ayo! Turning slowly, she saw a figure emerging from the shadows. It was her father, Chief Adekunle, his familiar face glowing faintly in the dim light. But Ayo knew better than to trust what she saw. The spirits of Igbale were known to take the form of loved ones, testing the resolve of those who entered their domain. Father, she asked cautiously, her voice trembling. The figure nodded, stepping closer. My child, you do not belong here. Leave this place and return to the safety of the village. Ayo's grip tightened on the gourd and kola nut. If you are truly my father, she said, you would know why I am here. I seek to honor you by proving myself worthy to lead our people. The figure paused, its expression unreadable. Then, with a sudden gust of wind, it vanished, leaving Ayo alone once more. She took a shaky breath, her resolve hardening. As the night deepened, the challenges grew more intense. She encountered a roaring river, that seemed impossible to cross, but she remembered her father's words about patience and observation. Searching the riverbank, she found a narrow log bridge hidden beneath the vine. Later, she faced a pack of glowing-eyed wolves, their snarls echoing in the darkness. But instead of running, she stood her ground, recalling the stories of her ancestors who had tamed wild animals with calm and steady courage. The wolves eventually retreated, their eyes lowering in respect. Finally, as dawn approached, Ayo reached the heart of the forest, a clearing bathed in soft, golden light. In the center stood a stone altar, etched with ancient symbols. She placed the palm, wine, and kola nuts on the altar, bowing her head as she whispered a prayer to the ancestors. The air around her seemed to shimmer, and she felt a warmth envelop her, as if the spirits themselves were acknowledging her bravery. A voice, deep and resonant, echoed in her mind. Ayo, daughter of Adekunle, you have faced the trials with courage and wisdom. You are worthy. When she opened her eyes, the forest seemed less foreboding, the light of dawn filtering through the trees. She made her way back to the village, her steps steady despite her exhaustion. As she emerged from the forest, the villagers gasped in awe. Even Olotu and Dayo bowed their heads in respect. From that day forward, Ayo was no longer seen as just Chief Adekunle's daughter. She was Chief Ayo, a leader who had earned her place through courage, wisdom, and an unshakable determination to honor her people and her father's legacy. The story of her trial was told for generations, a reminder that true leadership knows no bounds of gender or tradition, only the strength of character. If you enjoyed this story of courage, resilience, and tradition, please like, share, and subscribe for more enchanting tales. Your support helps us keep these folk tales alive.